Hey guys, hey parents and instructors. And I want to talk to you guys about how to, I'll say, complain at a tournament, what's acceptable and what's not, and how you should go about it. The reason we talk about this is we had some complaints at the last tournament that, with some common sense, should have just been put to rest and shouldn't have blown up and become such a drama fest as it was. Which normally we don't have any type of issues like that. We had some schools that haven't been to our tournament before, and apparently they handle it a little different than how it's supposed to be, or how we view it as it's supposed to be. There shouldn't be yelling and screaming at a tournament, especially after a division. There's no reason for that. You can't change the results, and all you can do is grow from things. If you feel there's a mistake, bring it up. At a tournament, I always carry a little paper and I write down notes of what to discuss in future black belt meetings, or discuss just over a phone call after the tournament, and that's how it should have been handled. So one of the things, we'll give an example of what to possibly complain about. In a sparring match, you're the judge. You have a corner judge here, you have a corner judge here. So if I'm kind of borderline running away from this opponent's attacking me, boom, 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 hiya! Did I hit him? Yeah, it looked like he moved. Did I hit him in the groin? You couldn't tell. That judge couldn't tell. And maybe this judge, since I'm rushing towards that corner and I'm in the way, maybe couldn't tell. Or if I'm here, hi, did I hit him in the groin? Did he block it? You guys can't tell. This corner judge could. So the complaint was, the judges aren't calling my points or my students' points. They kicked in the groin 3 times and they didn't call it. Okay, so the center judge, you guys, wouldn't have called those points because you couldn't see it. The corner judge here. So on my notes at the next black belt meeting, are we going to say, if you see a point, even if you know the other judges didn't see it, should you still say point, have them come back to center and make your call and waste 10 to 15 seconds of the match? Yes, you still should. So that will be addressed in the next meeting. That's all the discussion needed to be. But instead it turned into, well, they weren't calling my points, and the 15 minutes are just stupid. So if the parents or instructor would have realized, hey, because if you go back and watch the video, you can see that this student is moving towards the judge, and the judge might not have seen him. Maybe the judge probably saw one of them. All right. Okay, so you might have missed one call from one judge. So, okay. All right. Is that something to draw out a 15-minute drama-filled complaint and yelling at the judges? No. So as a parent, you should go to your instructor. Remember, the match is over. The match is over. I don't care how much you complain, we're not going to overturn it. So go to your instructor, explain what happened, have your instructor come to me. Maybe you come, in this situation, the tournament promoter or me. You can go with the instructor to give a little more eyewitness of what happened. But explain what happened, talk about it, and then, as if you watched my previous video, talked about it was actually the student's fault for not moving to where the judges could see it. And most instructors have been competitors before, and they would say, all right, well, your son or daughter just needs to move around the ring and make sure the judges see it. If one of my parents came to me and complained about it, that's how I would approach it, because blaming the instructor or blaming the judges, usually not the right thing to do, especially when colored belts are complaining that the high-ranking black belts are the ones messing up. Usually not the case, especially high-ranking black belts that have been judges for us for years that have done such an amazing job, and here comes this new group complaining about people that are really good at what they're doing. So if the judges are seeing this, that we're part of that, thank you for being you, thank you for doing what you do, and hopefully thank you for being able to put this behind you and continue to come help support our events, because that won't be tolerated. Next time, get me more involved, and yeah, it was stupid. So how to file a complaint is go to your judge, or not judge, go to your instructor. The instructor can then go either to the judge. Turns out that instructor and judge kind of conflicted. So yelling isn't going to solve anything. That's when you get me involved, and I will either pull the judges and get new judges in there to make it more fair, which I definitely didn't need to do because those judges were great. I really just needed to explain to the student and the instructor how maybe with some more sparring practice and maybe some good coaching, or maybe an instructor that could coach them on sparring a little more or better, could teach them how to use the ring a little better so that the judges can see their points. So to those judges, you did a great job. Did we get a little heated because you were being criticized by people who, grandmasters that weren't helping? I would get upset at that. I would have said, well, you can take over the ring, sir, Mr. Grandmaster. And then, but if you don't wear your uniform and you just dress in street clothes, nobody knows who you are. You just look like a disgruntled parent that wants to complain a lot, which heard from multiple people that there was complaints about that person about stuff too. So be a good person, do the right thing. Arguing isn't going to solve anything. Never come to somebody with a problem. Come to them with a solution, or with open ears to what a solution can be. So go to your instructor, then go to the judge. If that doesn't help, go to the tournament promoter. Tournament promoter will pull the judges, explain to the judges, or explain to the parents and instructor maybe how they do it different at tournaments and how it should be done and that type of stuff. So arguing is not worth it. We go to tournaments all the time. We take students to tournaments all the time. There are quite a few students that now refuse to go to a certain group or organization of tournaments because they feel they get shafted, because they're wearing our logo, because people don't like me because of our tournaments are bigger than somebody else's, so they take it out on my students as they compete, or they just feel that if you're not part of that organization that you don't get the points, the scoring, which we've seen over the years, especially at a certain organization in the state, that if you're wearing this patch or you're trained by this instructor, then you automatically have a 1/10 of a point higher just to start out. I can't specifically say that's exactly what happens, but over the years I remember Santi Gonzalez got last place in a division, and one of the guys that dropped his bow and had to start over ended up winning first. I had that happen when Mr. Waldron was there and some other. It was 2012. I won't say the name of the organization, but we were down in Kokomo area, and this really good black belt was running his form. Boom, his bow slipped out of his hand. He grabbed it and kept going, and he still ended up winning first place. And I was told by one of the judges, oh, that person can do a form better than anybody else. He's amazing. I said, well, yes, he can, but he didn't. So you should be judged based on what you do there. But because of his name, he ended up winning first, and it is what it is. But best thing, don't go run into the judge to complain. Find your instructor, let him or her explain it to you, and then go talk to the judge if needed. So tournaments are supposed to be fun. We're talking about, he was complaining about 7 and 8 year old beginners too. That's just stupid. Have fun at tournaments. Thank you.